Good morning all of you. I completed the numericals on camber in the last session. Now I proceeding with the next topic, that is sight distance. Sight distance. The sight distance is the distance available ahead to the driver at any instant of time. It is the distance available ahead to the driver at any instant of time. Is it clear? And it may also defined as the sight distance is the minimum distance over which a driver sitting at a specified height in a vehicle can see the objects either moving or stationary on the road surface. Okay, the sight distance is the distance over which a driver sitting at a specified height in a vehicle can see objects either stationary or moving on the road surface. Okay, that is regarding the definition of sight distance. Next, there will be restrictions to sight distance. Restrictions to sight distance. Okay, if you gone for restrictions to sight distance, okay, in the straight plain road there is no restrictions to sight distance, okay, particularly in the straight plain roads there is no restrictions to sight distance, but some circumstances there will be restrictions to sight distance. Some circumstances there will be restrictions to sight distances, like the first one, due to sharpness of horizontal curve. Due to sharpness of horizontal curve, okay, there will be restriction to sight distance. Because here, like this, sharpness of horizontal curve. This is sharpness, no? Okay, due to this sharpness of horizontal curve, there may restriction to sight distance. And second one, it is some objects at the inner side of the curve, obstructing visibility. So, if this is an horizontal curve, if some objects were present at inner side of the curve, this is some object, some building, okay, if the vehicle at this portion, another vehicle at this portion, okay, the object present at the inner side of the curve may obstruct the visibility. Okay, if the objects present at inner side of the curve, that will obstruct the visibility, particularly at horizontal curves. If the objects were present at the inner side of the curve, may obstruct the visibility. Is it clear? Next, third one, due to summit of vertical curve. That is the vertical curve with convexity upwards. That is the case also, there is an obstruction to visibility, or we can say there is a restriction to visibility. See here, this is a vertical curve, that is convexity upwards, the curve with convexity upwards. Here, if the vehicle, one vehicle on this side and another vehicle on this side, see here, the ground, the convexity upwards, no, the summit of the vertical curve itself obstructing the visibility. The summit of the vertical curve itself obstructing the visibility. Is it clear? Okay, that is the third case. Due to summit of vertical curve, there is a restriction to visibility. Is it clear? Summit is this, convexity upwards. Okay. Next, fourth one, at road intersection, building at corner, obstructing sight distance, Is it clear? At road intersection, see here, this is the road intersection. So if the vehicle coming on this side and another vehicle which moves on this portion, if the building at the corners, if some building at the corners are, it may be any type of building, whether it's a residential, commercial and any type of building which presents at the corner may obstruct the visibility. Okay, the corner build up area. Okay, that's why particularly at the intersection, okay, on the corner regions there should not be any built up area. Okay, it should be open areas. Okay, then it will provide adequate sight distance. Okay, these areas should be free from built up. These areas are free from built up. Then only there is no restriction to sight distance. Otherwise, if the corner portions of the intersections were built up, then there is a restriction to sight distance. Okay, means in these four circumstances there is a restriction to sight distances. Okay. Next, types of sight distances. Okay, for geometry design of highways and for traffic control, there are three situations of sight distances. Okay, the first one, it is stopping sight distance, SSD. Second one, it is safe overtaking sight distance, OSD, overtaking sight distance, OSD. And third one, it is safe sight distance for entering into uncontrolled intersection. These are the three situations where the sight distance are classified for the purpose of geometric design of highways and for traffic control. The first one, it is stopping sight distance, SSD. Second one, it is safe overtaking sight distance, OSD. And third one, it is safe sight distance for entering into uncontrolled intersection. Apart from these three situations, there are two more sight distances, okay, that will be suggested by IRC, Indian Roads Congress, for the design of highways. Okay, for the purpose of design of highways, Indian Roads Congress has suggested two more side distances. Those are, that is fourth one, it is intermediate sight distance, ISD, and fifth one it is headlight sight distance, it is called HSD. Okay, intermediate sight distance is equal to twice the SST, is equal to your 2 times of stopping sight distance, and it is provided when overtaking sight distance cannot be provided to give limited overtaking opportunities. Okay, the intermediate sight distance is equal to twice the stopping sight distance, and it can be provided when the overtaking sight distance cannot be provided to give limited overtaking opportunities. Is it clear? Next, headlight sight distance. It is the distance available for a driver under the illumination of vehicle headlights. It is a distance available for a driver under the illumination of vehicle headlights, that is headlight sight distance, and is equal to 1 time of SST, and is equal to SSD, stopping sight distance. It is 1 time of stopping sight distance. Is it clear? Okay, this is regarding the types of sight distances. Okay. The sight distance available for a driver at any instant of time will be depends on 3 factors. First one, it is features of the road ahead, and second one, it is height of the driver's eye above the road surface. Third one, it is height of the object above the road surface. Okay, on these 3 factors, the sight distance available on the road to a driver at any instant of time will be depend. Is it clear? Okay, I will take up the first type of sight distance, that is stopping sight distance. Stopping sight distance, SSD. Stopping sight distance, SSD. Okay, the minimum distance over which a vehicle moving at a design speed can be stopped without colliding with the stationary object on the road surface, that is the stopping sight distance. Okay, and this stopping sight distance is also called absolute minimum sight distance, or it is also called non-passing sight distance, Okay, and for the purpose of measuring stopping sight distance, IRC has suggested the values of the driver's height above the road surface is about 1.2 meter and the height of the object above the road surface as 0.15 meter. Is it clear? Means for the purpose of measuring the stopping sight distance, IRC has suggested the height of driver high above the road surface is equal to 1.2 meter and the height of object above the road surface is equal to 0.15 meter. 0.15 meter. Okay. Then the stopping sight distance will be depends on about 5 factors. Those are factors on which stopping sight distance SSD depends. Okay. The first one it is total reaction time of the driver. Second one it is speed of vehicle. Third one it is efficiency of brake. Fourth one it is frictional resistance between the vehicular tire and road surface. Frictional resistance between the tire and the road surface. And fifth one it is gradient of the road if any. Okay. The first one it is total reaction time of the driver. What is this? It is the time in seconds which the driver can take from the instant of time the object is visible to him to the instant of time the brakes are effectively applied. Okay. That is the total reaction time of the driver, and it varies with the driver to driver. The total reaction time of the driver, it varies with the driver to driver. Okay. It depends on the perception of the driver. It depends on the perception of the driver. Okay. Next, the speed of the vehicle. Okay. The sight distance is highly depend on speed of the vehicle. Okay. Higher the speed needs more stopping sight distance. Higher the speed needs more stopping sight distance. Okay. Next is efficiency of brake. Okay. If you apply the brake fully, then the wheels get locked. Means that is prevented from rotating the movement. If that is the case, okay, the vehicle starts skidding, and that proves that it is dangerous. Okay. That's why to avoid the skidding of vehicles, the Indian Roads Congress has suggested that the braking force should not be more than the frictional force between the vehicular tire and the road surface. Is it clear? To avoid the skidding of vehicle, the braking force should not be more than frictional force between the vehicular tire and the pavement surface. Is it clear? That is regarding the efficiency of brake. Next, frictional resistance between the tire and the road. Okay, the frictional resistance between the tire and the road will be depends on skid resistance, or we can call as coefficient of friction. We can call as coefficient of friction F. Okay, is it clear? And if the skid resistance is decreases, then the stopping side distance increases. Okay, and if the skid resistance increases, then the stopping side distance decreases. Is it clear? And for the calculation purpose of stopping side distance, Indian Roads Congress has specified the values of coefficient of friction F from 0.35 to 0.4. It is from 0.35 to 0.4. Okay, and that is depend on design speed. Is it clear? Next, gradient of the road, if any. Okay, if the gradient will be there in the particular stretch where you are going to stop the vehicle, okay, then that also affects the stopping side distance. Is it clear? And usually we have two types of gradient. One, it is ascending gradient, another one is the descending gradient. We can call it as upward gradient and downward gradient. Suppose if you take the example of Samit car, okay, so from here to this portion there is an upward gradient, from here to this portion there is a downward gradient. Okay, then the vehicle needs to be stopped at this stretch. The vehicle needs to stop at this stretch, requires a minimum stopping side distance than at this stretch, because this is an upward gradient or ascending gradient. Okay, for the ascending gradient the stopping side distance will be less compared to descending gradient. Okay, for the descending gradient the stopping side distance will be more. Okay, for the ascending gradient stopping side distance will be less, for the descending gradient stopping side distance will be more. Okay, that is regarding the gradient of the road. Okay.